Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Hello Redlow. I'm your host, Terry Mullen, and I'm so happy you're here. I try to help each one of us step forward with our lives one step at a time. And today we're going to talk about rejection. I know it's a little bit of a difficult topic, but I think it's important. So sit back and listen in. If you live for people's acceptance, you will die from their rejection. That's a quote from Lecrae Moore. Ouch. That quote hits me right in the heart. How about you? Rejection is hard, isn't it? No matter your age or the season of life that you're in, it hurts. But if we are rejected from those that we've spent a lifetime seeking approval from, well, then there are lessons of growth nestled within it all. I have a poem from Mary Oliver that I want to read. It's called Wild Geese, and perhaps you've heard of it. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Oh, wow. Just let that sit in your heart and soul for a few moments. I am sure that there are many interpretations as to what this poem means, but to me, it means that you do not have to be the good girl. You do not have to grovel, beg, and walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting, seeking that approval, over apologizing, or living in regret for things that went wrong or things that you've done. And you are not alone. The world has a place for you. No matter how lonely you are, the world offers itself to your imagination, and it calls you like the wild geese. And you, dear one, have a place in the family of things. I have a saying at the end of each podcast that I do. I say, you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you belong. And you know what? That means more to me now than ever before, and I want you to feel that. I have decided to talk about this difficult topic of rejection because I have been dealing with this myself, and I think it's important to shed some light on it, especially as we step into the holidays. I thought, if I'm feeling this way, then there must be at least one other human out there who has experienced this as well, and I want to offer some hope and help. As for me, I certainly have not arrived. I am not a therapist or a doctor. I'm just a 59-year-old woman who has written a book to help midlife women step forward, and also to help you navigate life transitions, overcome hard things, and rediscover who we are now, and shed some light on it and have conversations around it. We are always evolving, growing, and changing. I am a mother of 4 wonderful adults. I've been married for 33 years, and I've been through a whole hell of a lot, and I'm sharing what I'm learning with you. I think all of us deal with rejection somewhere along our path of life. Whether that rejection was from a person, job, school, team, or program, that rejection hurts. And yet it hurts more when it is from people you love. And I believe that familial rejection may be one of the hardest things a person can go through and try to overcome. But that said, don't be fooled. It is a manipulative tactic trying to control and punish you. It causes you to feel shame, guilt, sadness, and grief. And at the end of the day, we all crave acceptance, social connection, and love in some way, don't we? We're human. We want to feel like we belong. But being ostracized and scapegoated is really painful, and I am encouraging you to identify it, have some awareness around it, but you no longer need to hide, ignore, or cover up. I understand that feeling blamed, unwanted, and not valued is really cruel and toxic. It can lead to severe depression and cause low self-esteem, unhealthy behaviors, and may cause you to question your worth or even perhaps doubt your reality, what really is going on. But we are going to talk about that on another podcast episode because that is called gaslighting. Did you know that gaslighting is actually the #1 searched word in dictionary.com in 2022? Fascinating, right? But it's where we are in our culture. It says a lot. So let's unpack this. How do we step forward and beyond rejection? Well, #1, rejection isn't about you. It's about them. When people show you who they are, pay attention. Stop trying to fit in and get their approval. That's probably why you're being rejected, because you are finally standing up for yourself and not going along with the program or the rules. #2, get help. You must step forward to rebuild your life and your self-esteem. You can get support from mental health professionals. There are many wonderful resources available to help you. BetterHelp.com and Talkspace.com are 2 great online resources. You can also Google therapists in your area. Psychology Today will provide you with a list of therapists, and you can also ask for referrals. #3, I believe coaches are great. Support groups and online programs are also really fabulous. Today, people want to learn from others who have been through something similar and have overcome it. Often, this is the fastest way to move forward with your life. This is actually called the self-education industry and revolution. And according to Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, it's here to stay. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Dig deep and remember who you are. Anchor to your core and don't quit on you. God created you for a purpose and you have so much to offer the world. #5, stand strong and stand strong in your truth. Once you start to shed light in dark areas to heal your life, those who have wounded you, if they are not emotionally healthy, will feel threatened. They will be angry, talk badly about you behind your back, show favoritism, triangulate, lie and deny, reject your truth, and limit privileges. They will not allow you to be a part of their inner circle. And it is all part of the rejection and manipulative tactics intended to punish you. But I am encouraging you to allow them to continue to function in their dysfunction. #6, realize that the people who have hurt you and rejected you will believe a different story. It is okay. You no longer need to seek their approval or prove your worth. Besides, your secrets and their secrets keep you sick. Being authentic, telling your story and your truth, using your voice is how you heal. And it takes courage, my friends, to speak up and stand up. And I'm giving you permission to stop playing small, stop hiding, because in the end, you end up hurting yourself. #8, did you know that rejection can actually cause physical pain as well? It can. According to Dr. Callie Estes, rejection can cause brain fog, irritability, headaches, along with real and phantom pain. Fascinating, isn't it? Just pay attention to your body the next time you go through something really difficult. It will show up. Now for the fun part. Here are some tools to help you go from being rejected to being accepted. #1, be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Stepping forward and healing these generational traumas is really hard work, especially if you are one of the first ones to do this in your family. And trust that you are not broken. You are not too much. You don't need to just get over it, and you aren't too sensitive. You're just upsetting the apple cart and finally standing up for yourself and shedding light in painful areas in your life. You are allowed to step forward with your life, use your voice, and tell your story to help others and make a difference in the world. I thought I was broken for so long. I've tried to get over it and fix it and help everyone else my entire life. And you know what? It was really unhealthy, and it stopped working. Thank God. #2, you are not a doormat or a dump truck or a pooper scooper. You don't need to pick up or carry anyone else's garbage or crap anymore. Take all of that garbage to the nearest dumpster as quickly as you can. Unload it once and for all. Lighten that load and start taking care of you. Number 3, allow yourself to feel all the feels and give yourself time to grieve. Cry. I know it sucks, but those tears really cleanse. And what is that serenity prayer? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Remind yourself that you cannot control other people's behavior, but you can, however, control yours. Step forward with your own emotional growth. Number 4, journal. I really believe in the power of writing. I think it's so cathartic and healing. And I give you permission to write whatever you want. This is your journal. And if you can't write for any reason, just start to doodle and sketch. But you will find there's something really magical and powerful that happens when you transfer that information from your head and heart and allow it to flow down through your hand onto paper. Number 5, repeat positive affirmations to yourself. In my book, Step Forward, on page 99, I have a list of these affirmations. I use these to repeat these back to myself. You can also YouTube different affirmations because there are some that have music behind them as well, and they're wonderfully meditative. Number 6, disrupt that negative talk, those loops that ruminate over and over in your mind. I now say, awesome sauce, when those negative words start to loop in my brain. I know that sounds really ridiculous and it makes no sense, but that's the whole point. You're welcome to use those or create your own, but you'll find it really helps. Number 7, work on your self-care. It may not necessarily mean going and getting a pedicure, but if that's what you want to do, awesome. But I also encourage you to try to get outside and put your face in the sun, even if it's just for a few minutes. Go for short walks if you can as well. And then burn a candle with aromas that nurture your heart and soul and ground you and remind you that you are safe and you are home. For me, those aromas are cinnamon and pine, especially this time of year. Number 8, get proper sleep. For me, I take melatonin. Now, I'm not a doctor and I'm not advocating that for you. This is just something I do for myself. And I also go to bed about the same time every night. And if you can, slow down for a few days. I highly recommend that you do that as well. Number 9, seek out compassionate and empathetic relationships. You know who those people are because they are like a bright light in your life, your heart, and your soul. They pour into you. They encourage you and lift you up and remind you who they are. And they speak truth to you. And they are safe and valuable relationships. Nurture them. Number 10, create a life you love with those you love. Continue to do deep work and heal so you have an awareness and do not repeat these behavioral patterns in your own family. That is empowering, and that is breaking generational traumas. Healing is an ongoing journey, and I am learning this too. It's not a one-time event. It's actually a bit like peeling back an onion, layer by layer, and one step at a time. And thank God, because we could not handle it emotionally or physically. Therefore, it is a step-by-step journey. So let's make this mess a message and turn being rejected into being accepted. As promised, the women I follow who have helped me greatly are listed not only in the show notes, but I will share here. Number 1, Terry Cole. She's a licensed psychotherapist, relationship and empowerment expert, and the author of Boundary Boss. She has a podcast, an Instagram, and a Facebook group that you can join, as well as courses. Number 2, Roberta Shaler. I just found her. She is amazing. She uses the term hijackal to talk about people who hijack relationships, and I have found her to be incredibly helpful. Her podcast is called Save Your Sanity. She is an author and offers a monthly program to get advice and support. Number 3, Alyssa Boyer. She helps the highly sensitive person. She has an Instagram account and a podcast called The Sensitive and Soulful Show. Number 4, Nedra Tawwab. She is an author of the book Set Boundaries, Find Peace, A Guide to Reclaiming Yourself, and she also has an Instagram. Number 5, Alex L., author. Her new book, How We Heal, is amazing. She also has an Instagram account. Number 6, the holistic psychologist, Nicole LaPera. She has an Instagram account and has written a couple books as well. Number 7, my book, Step Forward. I hope this helps you. All of these women are brilliant and doing great work to make a difference in the world, and I highly recommend each one of them. Remember, you are not broken, you are chosen. You have a place in the family of things. Until we meet again, you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you belong. Now let's step forward together. God bless. Well, I hope this episode blessed your heart and soul today. I hope you learned a thing or two and are able to go from being rejected to feeling accepted. I'd love to know what topics you want to talk about in 2023. Leave a message, click on the link in the show notes, or send me an email at hello@helloredlow.com. And also, if you like what you're hearing on this podcast, I'd love to have you leave a rating. Those stars shine bright and help the show. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and are able to step forward with your life. God bless.